The shining star of the Kingdom of Zelina in southern Africa, Princess Zuri, possessed a beauty and grace that everyone admired. Her smile was as bright as the sun, and her words were always filled with compassion and wisdom. However, this enchanting being had ignited fires of jealousy in another heart. That heart belonged to Nia, the proud princess of the neighboring kingdom, yet a star that could never shine as brightly as Zuri. Nia had long been in love with Jabari, a young and handsome prince. However, Jabari's eyes were only for Zuri. Zuri's beauty and charm had captured all of Jabari's attention and admiration, creating an unbearable anger and jealousy within Nia. With every meeting between Jabari and Zuri, with every joyful laugh, Nia's heart ached a little more. Zuri had become an insurmountable barrier for Nia, an object of desire that was impossible to attain. One day, Nia's patience ran out. As she sought ways to eliminate Zuri, she was consumed by dark thoughts. These thoughts led her to the doorstep of an old sorcerer known for dealing with dark arts. When Nia told the sorcerer that she was looking for a solution to get rid of Zuri, he responded with a cunning smile. "I can cast a spell," he said, "but it will not be lethal. It will take effect gradually and completely dissolve her." The sorcerer prepared a potion for Nia. When mixed into Zuri's drink, this potion would cause her to lose her strength and vitality a little more each day. Nia was in awe of the perfection of the plan. As Zuri weakened and faded, it was certain that she would lose Jabari's attention, and perhaps Jabari would finally fall into Nia's arms. Following the instructions given by the sorcerer, Nia bribed Zuri's personal servant and asked her to mix the poison into Zuri's morning tea. When morning came, Zuri sipped her tea, oblivious to everything, and at that moment, the effect of the spell began. As the days passed, Zuri's energy diminished. Her skin grew pale, and the light in her eyes dimmed. Her cheerfulness slowly gave way to lethargy, and she became bedridden. This change was noticed by everyone in the palace, but no one could understand what was wrong. Even Jabari was unable to find a remedy for his beloved's unexpected transformation. In the palace of the Kingdom of Zelina, Princess Zuri's condition was worsening day by day as she succumbed to her illness. What initially appeared as mild lethargy and pallor had soon transformed her beyond recognition. Zuri's once golden hair began to fall out, and she became so frail that her bones were visible. Her beauty had succumbed to the merciless face of the illness. The palace inhabitants watched in astonishment as Princess Zuri's rapid decline unfolded. Losing strength daily, Zuri was now struggling even to carry on with her daily life. Meanwhile, a change had occurred in Prince Jabari's behavior. Initially trying to be by Zuri's side as her illness began, Jabari gradually lost hope as he saw that his beloved could not regain her former beauty and was continuously failing to improve. The hours he spent by Zuri's side only brought him pain because the radiant beauty he had once fallen in love with was fading away before his eyes. Nia, like a hunter waiting in the background, was watching for her opportunity. She observed Zuri's dramatic decline and Jabari's growing restlessness. Nia planned to use Jabari's feelings of loneliness and disappointment to her advantage. She saw Zuri's inability to recover as a stepping stone for her own victory. Finally, Jabari lost his strength to endure. The burden of being by Zuri's side emotionally exhausted him. One evening, he confessed that his feelings for Zuri had changed and that he could no longer bear the situation. In tears, he left Zuri and turned towards Nia's waiting arms. Nia did everything she could to comfort Jabari, and soon Jabari began to leave the memory of Zuri behind. Zuri's loneliness was slightly alleviated by the support of her family, but the disappearance of her former beauty plunged her into deep depression. The palace's most beautiful rooms had now become dark and oppressive cells for her. Her family watched helplessly as she writhed in pain. They could find no words or actions that could cheer her up. When Zuri looked at herself in the mirror, instead of the beauty once praised by the kingdom, she saw only a face ravaged by illness. Each new day reminded her that the old days would never return. This situation weighed heavily on her spirit and gradually extinguished her joy for life. Zuri's days darkened under the shadow of her lost vibrancy and beauty, as despair seeped into her heart, whispering thoughts of ending her pains. Isolated and abandoned, she had become a mere shadow of the radiant princess who once illuminated the halls of the Zelina kingdom. In a neighboring kingdom, Prince Kofi lived, who had long harbored a silent admiration for Zuri. During her enchanting and graceful days, he had felt a deep longing for her, but had never expressed his feelings, out of respect for her relationship with Jabari. However, when Kofi learned of Zuri's illness, her fading beauty, and her retreat to her room, and especially when he heard that Jabari had abandoned her, his heart ached for her. With a resolve strengthened by compassion and an undiminished desire, Kofi approached Zuri's family. He expressed his intention to help restore her health and sincerely believed in her recovery. After receiving their hesitant approval, he visited Zuri, bringing not only a promise of support, but also a glimmer of hope. Zuri was initially skeptical when she saw him. "You wanted me when I was beautiful," he murmured, pain clearly evident in his tired eyes. "Look at me now. Is there any beauty left?" Kofi sat down beside her, his demeanor gentle and sincere. "Zuri, my love for you was never just about the beauty others saw. I've always looked beyond that, to the extraordinary spirit you possess. Together, we can find the cause of this illness and overcome it. I am here not just for the past you mourn, but for the vibrant soul you still are. I promise to do whatever it takes to help you regain your health." Touched by his words and the genuine concern in his eyes, a faint spark appeared in Zuri's heart. For the first time in many long and dreary months, she felt a glimmer of hope. Could she perhaps find happiness and health again, not through her beauty, but through the steadfast love and support of someone who saw her true worth? Together, they began to unravel the mystery of her illness. Kofi provided not only medical assistance, but also the emotional support that had been so sorely missing from her life. As they faced the challenges together, the bond between them deepened, transforming what was once a hopeless end into a new beginning. Kofi's desire to help Zuri grew stronger. To understand the mysterious nature of Zuri's illness, Kofi decided to visit an elderly healer who lived in a remote village that was not well known. The healer's home was hidden in the depths of a lush forest, shaded by an ancient tree. Kofi explained Zuri's condition to the healer, an incurable disease, hair loss, and extreme weakness. After listening carefully to Kofi's words, the healer sighed deeply and said, "This is no ordinary illness. It could be the work of magic." Concern appeared on Kofi's face. "What should we do to heal her?" he asked hopefully. The healer remained silent for a moment, then touched some herbs and dried flowers with his aged hands, gathering them to prepare a special potion. "She must take a sip of this potion every day until she returns to her former self," the healer said, pouring the potion into a bottle. "It will take effect from the first day. She needs to continue taking one sip each day," he added. Kofi gratefully received the potion and immediately returned to the Kingdom of Zelina. He explained the situation and the healer's recommendations to Zuri. Initially hesitant, Zuri accepted this new hope and began to take a sip of the potion daily. Zuri's recovery process became more noticeable with each sip. By the end of the first week, her hair began to grow back and her skin started to regain a healthy glow. With each passing day, Zuri's beauty and vitality slowly returned. This transformation provided Zuri not only with physical rejuvenation but also with a great source of emotional motivation and joy. At the end of the month, Zuri had become so beautiful that she had regained her once enchanting beauty. Those at the palace not only witnessed this transformation but also noticed her strengthening spirit and restored self-confidence. Kofi's faith and love had reconnected Zuri to life, and now both were ready to leave this dark period behind them. Prince Jabari's choice had been to leave Zuri at her most vulnerable moment. This decision plunged her into a shocking loneliness. After leaving Zuri, Jabari sought refuge with Nia. However, Nia's heart harbored other plans. Her ambitious gaze was set higher, and it shifted towards Zabar, a prince who was wealthier and more powerful than Jabari. Zabar possessed a more impressive status than Jabari, and Nia did not hesitate to pursue this new opportunity. Having left Jabari, Nia began to envision a new future by Zabar's side. However, the nobility of Zabar's outward appearance concealed his cruel and merciless nature. Zabar was a ruthless and merciless prince, but Nia was unaware of this. Her eyes were solely focused on Zabar's power and status, which would eventually cost her dearly. Soon, Nia was confronted with Zabar's true face. The violence and infidelity Zabar inflicted upon her shattered Nia's dreams. Nia began to realize that leaving Jabari had been a grave mistake, but it was already too late. The costs she bore returned to her only as pain and regret. On the other hand, Jabari was forced to confront the consequences of his own choices. Seeing how Zuri reconnected with life through Kofi's love opened deep wounds in his heart. Zuri's recovery and her profound love for Kofi painfully reminded Jabari of what he had lost. Had Jabari chosen to stay by Zuri's side, he might have had the chance to build a new life with her. But now, it was too late. Zuri, by Kofi's side, regained her beauty and vitality after the dark days she had endured. Kofi's faith-filled love provided her not only with healing, but also with inner strength and confidence. During the most challenging times of her life, Zuri had come to understand the value of true love and loyalty. Now, deep in her heart, she felt the warmth and peace of real love. This story revealed the transformations of Zuri and those who abandoned her, illustrating how deeply love and betrayal can mark us. Ultimately, it demonstrated how true love can be a light, even in the darkest of times. Dear viewers, I hope the story of Princess Zuri's journey that we shared with you today has inspired you and resonated with your emotions. This tale reminds us how love and betrayal can be sources of hope even in the darkest times, and how true love can overcome any challenge. Each of us may face difficulties like Zuri in our lives, but remember that at the end of every dark period, we can find light with love and loyalty. Zuri's story inspires us to discover the strength and love within ourselves. If this story has touched your heart, please don't forget to like and comment. Subscribe to my channel for more stories and content. See you in the next video. Stay with love.